Our parasha begins with a contradiction. God promises the Jewish people that he would give them the promised land as an inheritance. This seems a bit awkward. If it is an inheritance for us, then we don't need God to give it to us. It is ours by right. But if it is a gift from God, then what difference does it make if it is also an inheritance? The Nesiva Shalom explains that there is a deep choice illustrated here, and it is all about our relationship with God. This thing we have with God is actually a two-way street. Like any relationship, we get out what we put in. If we want, we can relate to God contractually, just as the law of our agreed covenant requires. The Torah says to eat kosher, we eat kosher. We have to honor our parents, put a mezuzah on our doorposts, refrain from speaking bad of others. So we do these things. But they can all be done without heart, without feeling. The Kalina Rebbe said that if someone does not at least try to find joy in Shabbos, in Torah study, in the privilege of being a human being who can serve God out of choice, then they will receive their reward from God merely as heirs to his goodness. In Jewish law, an heir inherits their deceased relative irrespective of their relationship. A rightful heir of God's promised land will receive it merely as an inheritance, a rightful bequest, an estate disposed of to its proper legatee, passed on without love. Or, as the Kalina Rebbe put it in his picturesque way, such a person will gain their place in the Garden of Eden, but they will be like a bench in the garden, feeling no pleasure or satisfaction in being there. On the other hand, we can receive blessings from God as gifts from him, granted to us with love. If we invest in our relationship with God, doing mitzvot, davening, learning Torah, as acts of love, with a generous open heart, then God will respond to us in kind, with love. We will receive not an inheritance, but gifts, beautifully wrapped with bows and cards, and the act of giving will be as memorable as the gift itself. The ambiguity in God's promise is something for us to resolve. We can choose how to receive our promised land and how to receive anything from God. The letter of the law is the script for our relationship with God, but it is the spirit of the law that enables us to deliver that script in a way that is meaningful, that moves God's heart. And now I feel moved to speak on a personal note. This coming week is Rachel's and my barmitzvah in Edgware United. We will have been here for exactly 13 years. Back in January 2008, when we first came here, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama were battling it out for who would face John McCain in the next American presidential election, and George Bush was delivering his last State of the Union address. The credit crunch was kicking off across the world, and two Israeli tennis players, Andy Ram and Yoni Ehrlich, won the men's doubles title at the Australian Open. A bar mitzvah boy is supposed to have learned during his childhood about his history and his mission, and how he should plan for the future. Likewise, Rachel and I have learned a lot about ourselves and the community during our time here. We have found more kindness, support and friendship directed to us than we could have dared to hope for. We have seen inspiring stories of growth, courage, patience and hope. We have seen the tremendous dedication of many people to the continued flourishing of every aspect of our communal life. Especially now, when times are so hard, it is a privilege for us to behold the amazing resilience and mutual support evident in our community. The Kalina Rebbe would be proud of you all, and we are proud to serve you. You have both challenged and inspired us to plant these values in our own hearts and to try to bring a similar dedication of our own to our work here in the future. We find in you not recipients of God's inheritance bestowed by right, but recipients of God's gifts joyfully given to his loyal and trusty friends. We are grateful beyond words to you all for having us among you for so long, and we look forward to more happy, fruitful, and inspiring cooperation in the years to come. May God bless you, and may God bless us all. Thank you.